back, everybody. I hope you had an amazing spring break. This is Family Time 241. We're talking about civic engagement. This is one of the topics that falls under the social awareness SEL standard. But I want you to think of civic engagement a little differently. Like if you look up civic engagement, you'll probably find things about being involved with the community, being involved with politics, voting, those sorts of things. And that certainly is a part of civic engagement. Broadly, civic engagement is about like giving back to your community, being involved. And that's a good thing, but I want you to think of it more specific to yourself and the world around you. There's kind of the old idea to think globally, act locally. I think that's good, and if we all take care of our own little corner of the universe, of our own families and friends and teams, then we do make a large impact, because that ripples out, like dropping a stone in a pond. Those ripples go out. For me, the idea of civic engagement, and this ties in closely with like finding your passion, finding your purpose. And a life without a sense of purpose, I think no matter how much materialistic success you might find in career, money, those sorts of things, if it's not guided by a sense of purpose, I think those things tend to be pretty empty. And it's hard to have a sense of peace in your life. So it's really important to try to find some sense of purpose, some sense of meaning in the things that you do. That seems like it's a really difficult thing, but I'm not really sure that it is. And we've talked about this before. We did kind of like the 5 questions, the Adam Leipzig thing. But really it boils down to, what do you have to offer the world? What special skill or what passion, even more important than a skill, what passion do you have that you can share with others? Like, what do you bring to the table? And it's important to recognize that you all have something. And it's not something that you need to go out and find. It's inside you. And when I say what passion do you have, it may be something that you need to develop. It may be something that you need to work on. If you love drawing, don't think, oh man, I'm not naturally good at this, I need to give up on it. Just keep drawing, just keep doing, develop the skill. If you love writing, if you love dancing, if you love singing, if you love fixing cars, whatever it is, find that thing that's a passion and then develop it. It's your job to find that thing and then to breathe life into it, to nurture it and let it grow. And then I think the next step in finding purpose in life is to figure out how you can use that purpose and the skills you develop from that sense of purpose, that passion. How do you use that to serve other people? That to me is the idea of civic engagement or giving back, but it's really the root of a purposeful life, a life of meaning, where you're like, oh, okay, I'm doing this thing that I love. And most of the time, if it's something that you're really passionate about, it is difficult. It's not taking the path of least resistance. It's like, oh, I feel so deeply about this thing. I want to keep learning and growing in that area, and there's obstacles that come along with it. But this is, if you feel like something is right and it's difficult, you're probably on the right path. That probably means it's what you should be pursuing. And then once you figure that out, it's like, now how do you use that to serve other people? I think that's key. It shouldn't be about like, okay, how can I use this to make as much money as possible? How can I use this to become famous? And I'm not saying that those things are inherently bad, But I think if there's nothing behind it, it still remains hollow. It's what can I do to serve these other people? And it doesn't need to be this giant thing. Like I say all the time, I'm one of the far too few people who truly loves what I get to do every day. I love teaching and coaching. I love working with all of you. And part of that, I think I lucked into it where I was like, okay, these are things that I like doing. I like doing art. I like sports. I like working with people. Okay, well, how can I put that all together? I can do that in an education environment, and I knew it was important to me to try to help other people. I just felt like that was the right thing to do, to try to do something that has some element of service. So I say all the time, it's like if I had other skills, I would use that. If I knew how to play the trombone or knit or whatever, I would try to find a way to teach other people that, work with other people through those activities. But like what I know how to do is I know how to draw. I know a little bit about some sports stuff and working out and things like that. I was like, okay, well, how can I use that? Those are things for which I have a passion. Now, how do I use that to try to serve other people? I think that's the whole point of this thing. So anyway, those are the questions I want you to try and answer this week. Kind of big questions, but don't overthink them. About what are you passionate? How can you use that to serve other people? All right, until next time, much love.